According to the World Wildlife Fund in 2022, we are living through the sixth great mass extinction of animals on this planet, and it's the first one caused by humans. While ecosystems are crucial to our survival, and animals are crucial to those ecosystems, the food we eat, the water we drink, all of this is a result of a healthy ecosystem, of animals and plants being in balance with nature. When those ecosystems are risked, so are we at risk. Hi, I'm Michael. I'm a biology student. I work on a sustainable farm, and I'm an advocate for a healthy environment, which I believe makes me qualified to speak on this issue today affecting us. As a human living on this earth, you should support the conservation and advocate for protection of lands to support conservation. And as a United States citizen living in a country that has so much land area to protect, that is especially important. The problem we are facing is a severe decline in the biodiversity of our ecosystems. Since 1970, according to an article by Maris in 2019, populations of mammals, birds, fish, and amphibians have declined by 60%. That's crazy. We are living through an unprecedented loss of the biodiversity in our ecosystems. And as I said before, this biodiversity is important because it affects the general health of the ecosystem. An ecosystem is a complex interaction of plants and animals, of a food chain of animals eating other animals and having effects down the line. When one of these is threatened, when a bunch of these different keynote species are threatened, the entire ecosystem is unhealthy. And this is found by Davis in 2012, who says that the loss of species has catastrophic effects on the ecosystem. Indeed, in a study by the National Science Foundation, they found that biodiversity loss of different plants and animals, is found to have just as detrimental a change on the environment as climate change and pollution. So biodiversity loss should also be up there with one of the big climatic events that we are worried about. And speaking of climate change, why does biodiversity loss matter to us? Well, one of the key reasons it matters to us is that healthy, biodiverse environments are one of the key ways to reduce the amount of carbon going into the atmosphere. So how is that, you might ask? Well, that's through something called carbon sequestration. According to UC Davis in 2021, 25% of carbon that is taken from the atmosphere, carbon that is sequestered into the ground, is done through in plant-rich environments such as forests and grasslands. So preserving these environments is increasingly important to mitigating some of that carbon that is put into the atmosphere. According to Buot in 2019, land management could provide an estimated 37% of the climate mitigation needed to stabilize warming below 2 degrees Celsius by 2039, which is one of the major benchmarks to mitigating some of the climate disaster we are facing. So obviously it's not the only solution. Reducing fossil fuels and fighting climate change from the source is incredibly important, but also mitigating the carbon that is in the atmosphere and taking it from the atmosphere and putting it in the ground is something that plants can do, but there has to be those plants, there has to be those healthy ecosystems to support them. And we can increase the amount of carbon, therefore, that is sequestered by protecting more land and increasing the amount of plants and biomass that are able to absorb this carbon and sequester it into the ground. So what's the goal? Why am I talking to you today? Well, the goal in the United States is for the government to commit at least 30% of our land as protected natural land. So this is land that cannot be used by industry to drill, to frack. This is protected natural land where animals will be allowed to thrive, and animals will even be able to be introduced, such as they've done with wolves in Yellowstone. According to Maris in 2019, the primary cause of species decline is habitat loss. So protecting this land is the way to avoid that habitat loss, and to take land that is previously unprotected and protect it so animals can feed on it, can roam on it. That is the way we avoid the disastrous consequences that are happening to our ecosystems. We protect land where we allow that ecosystem to thrive. Furthermore, another effect of this land protection is that you have more beautiful nature near your home. Now, according to DeVille et al. In 2021, um, people having access to nature and people enjoying spending time in nature is one of the key indicators for whether they will care about conservation and give money to conservation. So not only are we making our environments healthier and mitigating climate change, but we're also helping conservation, helping that process even further by making people enjoy nature and be able to experience it, being able to appreciate it by making more protected areas near them. So, in conclusion, the problem we're facing today is a severe loss in the biodiversity, which is affecting the health of our ecosystems. Um, and these ecosystems are important to not only the survival of our planet and mitigating climate change, but also for all of the other benefits of enjoying nature, which is key to many people's lives. And the step that we can all do is we can advocate the U.S. government. You can write your senator, write your congressman, your House representative to demand that 30% of our land in the United States is protected by the government for nature, for conservation. This affects all of us. We all, in fact, interact with the environment on a daily basis. The environment is responsible for our clean water. The environment is responsible for pollinating the crops that produce our food, um, for the weather that we enjoy every day. This is all the environment. And we live in the environment, and therefore we all have a responsibility in this country to protect it and to demand that the government protects 30% of our natural areas. So write your senator, write your congressman, speak up about this issue. It's important. And thank you for listening to my speech today.